Is that water? Don't you fucking rain on me. Oh, come on. Damn it. Motherfucker. Navigate to PCP Motorsports. Are you actually gonna get me directions? Come on, you fuck stick. Alright, what is going on, YouTube? So this might be, what, the first or second vlog on the new bike. And I'm working on getting this bike into the shop for its break-in service. Because I've hit 607 miles as of this moment, and it's just been barely over a week since I got there. I fucking ride every chance that I get. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my first impressions on this bike. Now obviously 600 miles is not enough to really review the bike, but I think 600 miles is a good, solid first impression. And I have to say, I bought this thing brand new, 0 miles on it. So every single mile that is put on this bike has been mine. And I fucking love this thing. It's the 2015 ZX6R 30th anniversary model. I did not get ABS, but I have the traction control, the power modes, and honestly I think this bike is fantastic. So for those of you who don't subscribe to the channel or haven't watched any of my previous videos, I'm coming from a year of riding on a 2009 Ninja 650. So honestly, I'll start with the list of things I didn't like about the bike, or the challenges I had, because that's the shortest list. The hardest thing for me about this bike was getting used to the seating position. Because on the Ninja 650, you're upright, and that is definitely a lot more comfortable for longer rides. So it took a couple days. I think it was about 2 days of riding this bike, so about 200 miles, and that's when I finally got used to the seating position. That's really my only gripe with the Super Sport class, is the seating position. But obviously this bike is not made for commuting or for long distance travel. It is made to go fast, and I haven't really been able to test that out just yet. For the break-in period, they tell you to keep it below 6,000 RPMs, which on the highway is about 65, 70 miles an hour in 6th gear. I've been trying to stick to that. I think I did alright. I mostly just never went past like 9,000 RPMs. And the thing redlines at 16,000, so I'd say I did a good job. Now let's talk about the things that I really, really love about the bike. For one, as you've seen from one of my previous videos where I test rode the GSX-R 750, this thing has a gear indicator. I fucking love gear indicators, so that's awesome. The power mode and traction control settings are super easy to modify. There's just this switch here on the left handle. Up, adjust the power. Down, adjust the traction control. And are you gonna come off? Come on. And it's just a really easy system. Now, I've found that traction control, the very first day I rode around with traction control on its highest setting to just see what it felt like. and that was just way too aggressive. And so I bumped it down to the second setting. I still felt, for me, it was a little aggressive. And I'm supposed to be stopping here at PCP, but I'm not actually supposed to drop the bike off for another hour, so I'm gonna ride around and finish up this vlog. Oh, look at that. It's the KRT ZX6R. So yeah, the traction control in its higher settings seems really aggressive, in my opinion. I think it will be really nice if I do ever get caught in the rain, like some heavy rain, but I don't really plan on that happening. Now when it comes to power modes, I haven't actually got to play around with the power modes, because I did a little research, and the power mode only affects the top end. So once you hit the power band at about 8,000 RPMs, instead of giving you 100% power, the L mode will give you 80% of the power. But obviously, since I'm supposed to be keeping it under 6,000 RPMs, I can't exactly test that. But for the power modes and the traction control, I think I'm going to do a separate video and try and demonstrate those two things in action. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try. Just that way, if you guys are thinking about buying a ZX6R, you'll know a little bit more about the electronic systems on here. But other things that I really like about the bike, I like that it gives you an average mile per gallon based on your riding, as well as a live updating mile per gallon use. And there's that little icon right there, looks like 3 circles on the dash. That's the eco mode indicator. So anytime you're getting over 40 miles to the gallon, you get that little icon there to let you know that you're being a fucking gas preserving badass. I did get a chance to actually take this bike up into the twisties already, and it was some pretty tight turns, so you know, it wasn't about going fast, but this bike handles beautifully, as you would expect for a racing bike, which is what this is intended to be. It just turns over really easy, so if you come up on a switchback, you can get into it real good and flip the bike over and not worry about having to work too hard to do that. Like, it was really easy to get this bike to do what I wanted. And when it comes to turns, it just falls into it so easily. The only way I can really describe it is that I just kind of think about what I want to do, and the bike does it. Like, it's obviously not that easy, but it just seems like every turn is effortless. And that truck almost fucking tipped over because he hit the curb. Oh, look at this gangsta. This Buick on fucking 20 foes. So I've spent a lot of time in the low end of this bike, and honestly, I think it's great. I don't think it has any more or less torque than the 650 in the low end. Like, it's never a struggle to get moving, except in like the higher gears. It seems sometimes to be a little sluggish, but lower gears, lower RPMs, it seems perfect. And I think the last thing I really wanted to point out that I love about this bike is the mirrors. Not only are they actually useful, at least for me, but they snap into place, so that means when I'm folding them in to do some tighter lane splitting, I don't need to readjust them to actually fucking be able to see out of them again. I just snap them back into place and it's perfect. I love it. Anyway, I mean, that's just me talking about the new bike after having it for a while. I fucking love this thing. Best damn purchase I've made. And I'm happy to have a bike that is mine and nobody's fucking defiled it. Anyway, I'm gonna get that break-in service done now. As always, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
What the fuck, Richard?